Hello everyone, my name is Putri Nurtasha. In this occasion, I want to present one of the chapter on instructional technology and media book. The chapter is chapter 4, on title Designing Digital Learning Environments. Okay, I will tell you about the 10 types of learning strategies. There are 10 common types of instructional strategies used in learning classroom. The first one is presentation. Then demonstration, drill and practice, tutorials, discussions, problem-based learning, cooperative learning, gaming, simulation, and discovery. We provide an overview of each strategies and discuss the advantages and limitations of each strategies. Okay, number one is presentation. In a presentation, the teacher or the students dramatize or otherwise disseminate information. An information source include the teacher, guest speakers, textbooks, internet sites, audio, video, or other students. Presentation can be highly interactive, involving questions and comments between the teacher and the learner as a whole class or in a small group. And for the advantages here, there are 4 advantages of presentation. Number one is present one. You only have to present the information once for all the students. And then note-taking strategies. Students can use a number of different note-taking strategies to capture the information presented. Then about information sources. Technology and media resources can serve all quality sources for the most current information. The last advantage is student presentation. Students can present the information they have learned to the whole class or a small group. And then there are 4 limitations here. The first one is difficult for some students, then potentially boring, not taking difficulty, and also age appropriateness. Go on to the demonstration. During demonstration, learners view an exhibition of a skill or procedure to be learned. Demonstration can be used with a whole class, a small group, or an individual who needs a little extra explanation on how to do a task. And there are 4 advantages. Is seeing before doing. Students benefit by seeing something done before they do it. Task guidance. A teacher can simultaneously guide a large group of students to complete a task. Then economy of supplies. Only a limited number of supplies are necessary because not everyone will be handling materials. The last advantage is safety. A demonstration allows the teacher to control the potential danger to students when using caustic materials or danger equipment. And for the limitation is not hands-on. Students do not get direct hands-on experience unless they are following along as the teacher demonstrates steps or skill. Then the limited view here is every student may not have an equal view of the demonstration, thus possibly missing some aspect of the experience. A technological solution involves using a document camera to project the demonstration. Then non-flexible pacing. Not all students may be able to follow the demonstration pace of presentation. Recording the procedure on video will allow students to review the demonstration as needed. And the tutorials. Tutorials involves learning working with an agent in the form of a person, computer software, or special printed materials that present the content, poses questions or problems, request the learner's responses, analyzes the responses, supplies appropriate feedback, and provides practice until the learner demonstrates a predetermined level of competencies. And the advantages here is independent work. Students can work independently on a new material and receive feedback about their progress. Then self-paced. Students can work at their own pace, repeating information if they need to review it before moving on to the next section of the material. And then about individualization. Computer-based tutorials respond to students' input by directing their study to new topics when content is mastered, to remediation activities when a review is needed. And there are three limitations, are the potentially boring, then possibly frustrating, and then also potential lack of a guidance. Go on to the discussions. As a strategy, discussions involve exchange of ideas and options among the students or among students, the teacher. Interesting, students often find discussions more interesting than sitting and listening to someone tell them facts. And the second advantage is challenging. Discussions challenge students to think about the topic and apply what they already know. The third advantage is inclusive. Rather than having only a few students answering teacher questions, discussion provides opportunities for all students to speak. And the last advantage is opportunity for new ideas. Discussions can be a new way in new ideas to the information presentation. In the discussions also have three limitations. Number one is potential for limited participation, then sometimes unchallenges, and also difficulty level. Go on to the problem-based learning. Life-like problems can provide an excellent starting point for learning. In the process of grappling with the real-world challenges, your student acquire the knowledge and skills needed for success in today's workforce. Through the use of problem-based learning, your student actively seek solutions to structured or structured problems situated in the real world. And then in the problem-based learning, there are three advantages. Number one is engaging. Students are actively engaged in the real-world learning experience. And the second is contact for learning. The relationship between knowledge and skill become apparent as students work toward a problem solution. And the last advantage is levels of complexity. Introducing additional problem issues over time can control the level of problem complexity. There are three limitations also in the problem-based learning. Number one is difficult to create. Number two is age appropriateness. And number three is time confusing. Go on to the cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is a grouping strategies in which students work together to assist each other learning. The advantage of cooperative learning are learning benefits. Mixing the ability levels of students within a group leads to learning benefits for all. Then formal or informal. Groups can be informal or formal based on learning requirements. And the learning opportunities, long-term group can be developed creating multiple learning opportunities. The last is content areas. Cooperative learning can be used with all content areas. In cooperative learning, there are three limitations. Number one is size limitation, and then number two, potential overuse, and number three, group member limitation. Then about the gaming. Educational gaming provides a competitive environment in which learners follow pre-described rules as they strive to attain a challenging goal. Involving from one to several learners, games are highly motivating, especially for tedious and repetitive content. And the advantages of doing gaming in educational are engaging. Students are quickly engaged in learning through games, and then match to outcomes. Games can be adapted to match learning outcomes. And then variety of setting. Games can be used in a variety of classroom settings, from a whole class to individual activity. Then gain attention. Most games are colorful, interactive, and competitive, helping to gain student attention for learning specific topics or skills. In gaming, there are four limitations here. Number one is competition concern. Number two is level of difficulty. Number three is expense. And number four is misdirection of intention. Then about simulation. Simulations allow learners to confront a scaled-down version of a real-life situation. The advantages here, there are 4 points. Number one is safety. Simulations provide a safe way to engage in a learning experience. Number two is recreate history. Maybe the only way to engage in a situation. For example, role-playing ancient Roman history. And number three is hands-on. Simulation offer opportunities for hands experience. Number four is variety of ability levels. Students of all ability levels can be included in simulation experiences. In the simulation, there are 3 limitations. Number one is questionable representation. Number two is complexity. And number three is time factor. And the last one about the learning strategies is discovery. The discovery strategy uses an inductive or inquiry approach to learning that fosters a deeper understanding of the content through the learner and involvement with it. There are 3 advantages here. Number one is engaging. Discovery is very engaging for students all levels of learning. Repeated step. When using discovery learning, you can use procedure or steps that have been taught previously. And number three is students' control of learning. Discovery learning allows students the feeling to control over their own learning. And also there are 3 limitations here. The first one is time factor. Discovery can be time-consuming for design and implementation. An option is to adapt web-based discovery lessons. And number two is preparation is critical. Discovery requires the teacher to think through all the possible issues that students might encounter. This becomes easier with practice. And then the last limitation is misunderstanding. This strategy may lead to misunderstandings about a content area. Make sure to debrief students after a discovery lesson. Okay, that's all the explanation about chapter 4. Enjoy your time. Thank you very much.